Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to the ICAT Playdate. My name is Phyllis Newbill. I'm the Associate Director of the Center for Educational Networks and Impacts within ICAT. A few housekeeping things before we get started. As usual, we are live streaming the Playdate on YouTube, and it will exist on the internet afterwards, so just be aware of that. Please sign in. Is the sign-in sheet somewhere in the room? There it is back there. Good. Please make sure you sign in. That is how we justify to the folks with the checkbooks. That's how we justify donuts and coffee. So it's very important that you sign in. Please do enjoy donuts and coffee with us this morning. If you're online, good morning. Please enjoy donuts wherever you are. If Professional Development Network credit is helpful to you as a faculty member, just make sure that you sign up for that course and check in with me to make sure that I've gotten your credit established for you. In the way of announcements, we have ICAT Day coming up on April 29th. So that's not this coming Monday, but the one right after that. So I hope everyone will be over at the Moss Art Center between 10 and 2 to see lots and lots of ICAT projects at tables, folks to talk to about their processes and products. Hope you'll be there for that. Following the expo part, at 2:30 we'll have a reception in the Cube. Join us for that. And then at 5:30 here in the Performance Hall in CID, there is a concert called The Beat Goes On. So be here for all that. It's going to be a great day. Any other announcements? Okay. This morning, we have a group of students who went to the A2RU Summit. I'm going to let them talk to you about what that is. So at this point, without any further ado, I'm going to hand it off to Yeji. And do you have your mic already? Brandon has your mic. Here is the team. And I will let them take it from here.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Yeji.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Yeji. This is Effie, Gala, and Maxwell. I'm very excited to share with you our experience from A2RU, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to present this to all of you. I want to share a memorable part of our journey to RIT. It was a 9-hour drive, and which was my first experience with long-distance driving. Even though it was I was initially very nervous, it turned to be enjoyable experience. We had the opportunity to engage in deep conversation, which helped us to quickly form a bond. And moreover, the landscape on our drive were absolutely beautiful, making the trip more special.
Okay, so I'm Maxwell Mandel. I was a part of the A2RU summit. So the summit was at the Rochester Institute of Technology's Student Hall for Exploration and Development, also known as the Shed. It was a building that purposefully brings together technology, art, design under one roof, with flexible spaces that foster and stimulate creativity, collaboration, and discovery. The Shed is a different kind of building, but in a way similar to CID, just not a residence hall. We had access to 3D printers, laser cutters, a costuming room, presentation rooms, and even an immersive theater. Think something like the Cube.
Hi, I'm Efe, and so first day, first we did a kickoff, and then we had a panel of experts who talked about the stuff, and during the kickoff, we were introduced to, after our registration, we gathered here, and then the organizers and hosts introduced themselves to us, told us about why we're here, what we're going to be doing. And also we have the panel of experts who talked about their experience in the field and how it can be related to play and how it could help us as we start to brainstorm ideas. From left, we have Sean Foster, who is an expertise in 3D digital designs, also in AR and VR. Then we have Catherine Lewis, who is the Director of Disability Services. We have Lisa Feinstein, the Vice President and Co-Chair of Women in Games Initiative at the Strong National Museum of Play at Rochester. And we have Andrew Hudson, who is the Dean and College of Science. So now, we all know the theme is play, and people have different ideas and what play actually means to them. So play could mean free and unstructured to me, and could be accessible and inclusive to someone else. That's how the sub-themes were formed. So whatever resonates with you and you think you want to build something from, you can move towards the theme, and whoever you meet there are your teams, and then you can start brainstorming something together. So as you can see, we had 2 teams where the teams were named after animal names, and we have 2 teams at the Learn and Concept. Why is that? Is because we have more than 6 people under these categories. And once you have more than 6 people, you're split into 2 because we need to have, people have to be able to contribute in each individual team where they are in.
So I was a part of Team Hawk, which was Rebecca Green, me, and Leanne Kuchler. So our subject was learn to connect to concepts through play. So we decided to create a game for learning, and we had lots of ideas for it. You can go to the next slide. We ultimately ended up going with life lessons. You can see it like in the bottom right corner in that image. So one of those sticky notes says, interactive family game to teach conflict management. So that's what we decided to go with. And next we had to decide what type of game. Would it be role play? Would it be a puzzle? Would it be discussion based? Would it be all 3? And yeah, so we ended up with we boiled it down to a 3-stage game called I Feel, You Feel. You can go to the next slide. To help kids learn about emotions. So here's how it works. So stage 1 was express. You were given like a body template and markers or anything to draw with, and you had a timer, 5 to 10 minutes, to draw however you were feeling. In the middle, those are actual examples from the summit when we had people test out the game. When the time's up, you stop drawing, and then you move the characters over here to the second star, which starts stage 2. And then stage 2 is guess. You decide who goes first. It can be by age or dice roll, whatever you want. The presenter shows their drawing, and then everyone else guesses how the presenter feels based off of those drawings. You can also use the given like emotion cards to help guess. The presenter nods or shakes their head if the guess is right or not. Then you repeat it with other players. Once everyone's gone, you move your characters to the third star. And that brings us to stage 3, which is discuss. So we 3D printed a microphone, that green thing right there, to encourage a pass the mic idea, where one person talks at a time. So they grab the microphone and share how they're feeling and why. They have to use I statements, like not like, you did this, but I feel blank because blank. Once everyone feels validated, you move the characters to the center, and that's the end of the game. And then there's an optional cooldown game, like telephone or like a matching game or something like that. And yeah.
Our team project was a modular playground. We investigated how to create an environment where children can naturally connect each other at the playground. We developed a system that modular element like monkey bar to optimize them according to their physical dimension of different children. So we create a structure that allows for adjustment to elements such as the bar found in the playground equipment. We design it using 3D design tools and then produce an actual structure using the 3D printers. It's a concept for the sound creating connection among the children in actual playground. We decided to insert pressure sensor on the bottom of the playground, and we detect the position of the children and design melodies accordingly. The movement of the children generate a single note, and then when they play well together, we create a major sound like this. Oh, sorry. And we create a minor scale and warning sound, and yeah.
Hey, I'm Gala. I was part of a very diverse team in terms of backgrounds and disciplines. One of us is a geologist, and we worked through the subject of inclusivity and accessibility. After a lot of thinking around prosthetic devices and urban development, we decided to work with the mutation of the shores throughout time because of the scale of shore shifting and how gradual this process is. It's very complex to really understand the impact of our modern lives and how climate change affects shores. So we decided to work on a serious game for middle schoolers, for classrooms, thinking about the idea of building somehow a sculpture that can be moved throughout a shoreline to create like a new sculpture and a new shoreline. And at the same time, using it as a tool for engaging with in a more reflective activity towards how whatever we do in our local community, with our peers, with our families, etc., can affect somehow whatever happens to climate, that then as a consequence will transform shores. This is a very complex game. In just 3 days, we were able to develop a full set of rules for playing, and we actually used this shed to build like a very cool prototype that it's actually here at VT. I'm the one who kept it. So you can actually come forward and play a little bit with me afterwards. But it was amazing what we could accomplish in 3 days with having access and time to all of those resources. We actually also applied for the follow-up grant. We were very excited about this game. We've been testing it so far a few times, and using a lot of information on how science and technology can feed these reflective activities as well. So yeah, excited.
Dark and Chaos, that's the title of our project, and we wanted to do something that is kind of like free and unstructured, and some of us had big ideas like doing stuff in AR, VR, some people had ideas in Blender to like design 3D animations, but most of these ideas like can be achieved within the time frame that we had, so we had to settle for something more playful. So first we made a slingshot gun, and we did a 3D printed bullets, different shapes. And one interesting thing about this project is how it somehow relates to usability engineering and user experiences, because first the prototype didn't have handle, like, so people were kind of like confused like how to use the sling gun because there wasn't handle to it. So we did, after testing, after feedback, we did a 3D printed handle and added to it for affordances, so people can be able to, they need less explanation to be able to like use this sling shotgun. And the next thing we did, we used cardboard and cartons to carve out shapes, and we made boxes, pyramids, and other shapes out of it. And then we painted them, and we used it to form a castle at the top. And so since it's free and unstructured, you can choose how you want to play the game, like individually or as maybe like target practice, or maybe you can play with a team, and one of them we have to like set up the boxes and put the duck at the top, and the other person has to aim and see if he can bring down the duck or see how he could take down the castle. So whatever way you want to play, since there are no rules. And you can also decide how you want to play, like when someone was trying to play it, he actually load like 5 of these 3D printed bullets into the gun just to get better shots at the stuff. So it's stuff like that. So it's free and unstructured, right?
Thank you. All right, so we want to conclude so we can engage in some conversation, and we want to hear your questions. And just wanted to tell you about what we felt was the most important thing of this process for us. One of the things the facilitators worked throughout the entire event was to give us tools just to manage the teams, just to understand how to go through in an interdisciplinary team where people have maybe different perceptions of, we were like talking probably on the teams, constantly talking about, naming words. And at some point we will say like, by this word, I mean this. And the other person will go like, no, I mean this other thing. So it's like, okay. So we have like different worlds of thinking and concepts. So they give us just tools about that, not about being creative or technical expertise. They trusted we have that. So they were just like, how can you guys can go through this and actually deliver? And the other thing is that the focus is always on the people and not the projects. They also remarked this during the entire event. And now that, a month? How many weeks? Yeah, no, I think that 1 month, it was like 13th, 14th. It's been a month so far, and I can just remember how I felt with my peers much more than we still love our project, but this was made all by all that engagement that we have with each other. We're going to go through a lot of projects throughout life, but then the people is the one with who you build things, and it's the one that you can actually engage around identity and what makes them interested and passionate and happy, and about what makes you happy and passionate and interested. So we have that. We gained that from this experience. So I want to thank you for today. We want to thank ICAT and Virginia Tech for sending us the Rochester Institute of Technology. That was very cool. And to the A2RU facilitators and workers and researchers, they are amazing. We learned a lot. This is a QR that you should use because it's the A2RU website, and you have access there to a set of videos where each team presented their project. So you will find a much more thorough description of each project. So yeah, thank you so much.
We've got some time for questions, and I want to start us off with one. Can you all talk about your fields of study and how that got you to A2RU?
Okay, I can start. So I have a major in electronic arts. My first training was in music, and I'm doing a PhD here, an interdisciplinary program in human-centered design. I work with voices and politics and science and technology in very broad field, and AI as well. So for me, it's just like I can engage with many subjects because I like to navigate curiosity, and I feel I have some tools to interact. So instead of pushing the idea of working with prosthetics devices, that my group had 2 people that were interested in that, we were just so comfortable working with a subject that might never call my attention before, as shore shifting. That's not my area. So it's nice to just be open and navigate other people's interests and bringing your tools to enhance that experience.
Hi, my major is industrial system engineering, and my major area is sonification. And also, in my previous project, I investigated how to make children engage with the fairy tale with sonification. So that experience was really helpful for our project because I was able to make some environments for children to play together well, because I can make some major sounds, and it can promote them to play together well. And if they are 5, we can make some warning sounds, so we can warn their parents to there is something wrong. So yeah, that was really good experience.
I'm an MFA student in creative technologies, and kind of more interested in design, AR, VR, 3D animation, 3D modeling, just user experience, usability engineering. And this also helped me in my project because it has to do with user experiences, because before someone did it slingshot gun, it was difficult. When we give it to people to use, they're like looking at it sideways. They don't know how to handle it, how to use it. So we take feedback from them, and we created a handle, we iterated on the designs, and this kind of helped us towards designing. We're designing the stuff, getting feedback, and we're designing the slingshot gun, and also the 3D printed stuff. Some of them were too big, too small, so we had to calculate the margins and how we're going to print it out to fit into the slingshot gun. So it kind of like the usability engineering aspect, user experiences, and the 3D modeling kind of helped towards the A2R project.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of all over the place. So I'm a cinema and theater double major with a double minor in strategic communications and brain and adaptive behavior. Basically, I am interested in how like creativity affects people and how people use creativity to express themselves. So I thought that the group that I went with, Learn and Connect to Concepts, would be great for me to put my input into. And yeah.
Great, thank you. What other questions do we have?
So I know you guys went through a pretty competitive process to be chosen as the 4 to go. Even with your 10-hour drive, would you say the experience was worth everything you went through to get there and to be chosen to go? And would you encourage students next year to do it, even though, I mean, you had to leave your responsibilities here and focus on that for a couple of days, so.
I mean, absolutely. If you can like afford it in your schedule, I would 100% like recommend people to go. It's like a once in a lifetime like experience. You get to meet so many different people, learn different perspectives, and yeah.
Yeah, I will say the same. You get to meet a lot of very interesting people, and this sounds like it's something shallow, but it's not. You realize there are a lot of people just opening to doing research in very novel approaches more than subjects, and how they engage with their identities, through their identities to what they do is just amazing. You see people very motivated about what they do. They want to meet you. They want to tell you about themselves. So it's very inspiring in the middle of the year when you get very tired, sometimes asking, what am I doing here? And then you meet those people and it's like, it's okay, I'm not alone. So that it's beautiful. Also knowing a different university as an international student, I think that getting to know a different institution like RIT was amazing. And the trip itself, even though it was very long, it's great because you can see the mountains, the landscapes. It's very nice. A lot of the culture. So yeah, it's like the entire trip is just a way of getting to know more this new place that we're in.
Same, and also I was able to meet a lot of people from various areas. Like I was able to meet some people from Disney and some people from the data science. So we were able to make some research with collaboration. So yeah, that was really amazing experience.
I think the trip were great, and aside from building projects together with interdisciplinary students, we had access to people presenting their works, like students presented their work, and it gave some kind of inspiration, having to see students presenting their work, talking with students with similar ideas and great ideas was actually remarkable. And also, I haven't met a student that was willing to like collaborate with me after this job, that was willing to like, he had something that I want to do regarding 3D animation and 3D modeling. So we're actually speaking currently, and he's talking about a project that I want to do concerning 3D modeling, 3D animation, and which was something I actually gained from the experience.
Thank you. Other questions? Ben has one. Oh, sorry.
I think you might have mentioned it, but I was just curious, do you see any of the projects or the people that you met, projects that you worked on when you were there to continue beyond the edges of the gathering itself?
Like our actual project?
the project that you worked on there, or did you meet any people that you might continue to work with in other ways?
That was what I just said. I met a student that was into 3D modeling, and he said he had a project that he's going to do like 3D animation that's going to go live, that's going to be starting during the summer. So I said, good, I'm interested. So he just messaged me recently that, yeah, I'll be starting a project during the summer if I'm interested. I said, sure. So I sent him my name. So he's trying to put up a team, put it together. So probably from during the summer, we'll continue from there and start building the project together. So it was really
With my team, we did apply to the follow-up grant of A2RU. We were very excited about this game. This is a very wicked problem, and as it is a wicked problem, it is very interesting to attack it from all our different disciplines. We've come up with so many concepts to develop, and we are just so excited about continuing this and test it like in schools. We've been testing it in labs where people engage with serious games. So we have a lot of feedback. But also we want to build a real prototype because this is very beautiful. You can come and see it. But the real prototype is just so nice. The design that we did is just so nice. We want to see it. So yeah, we're excited.
Thanks. What could we here at Virginia Tech do to encourage you to think in these ways moving forward now that you're back home?
I think you do a lot. That's why we got there. I'm speaking by myself, but I do an interdisciplinary PhD, so I'm engaging with a lot of researchers, students, spaces. We have ICAT. We were just discussing things to do during the summer. Each partner peer that we meet, that we have similar interests, we are constantly thinking, what can we do together? When can we find the time? And this is a place where you feel that you have a lot of workload, but you can actually find paths if you can make it through the schedule. So I think it will be a matter to keep enhancing what you already have or we already have here. But that's my thought. Those are my thoughts. All right, that's it for now for your question. Thank you.
We're a quiet bunch this morning. How close are each of you to graduation? So that's a question. I know that you're working on a PhD. I'm not sure, is everybody else working on master's programs or undergraduates?
Undergrads, masters, PhDs.
Okay. And how close are you to graduation so that when you
Graduating.
take this out into the world, how soon is that going to happen? I can't wait. I'm so excited.
For us to finish.
Yeah, no, I want you to take these great ideas and go do good, go out in the world and do things, yes.
Yes, so I'm in my second semester.
Okay.
This is my fifth semester.
This is my first year. I'll be graduating, I think, May 2025.
Okay, so we have you for a little more time. This is good. Y'all take notes.
And then I'm graduating in spring 2025.
Okay, so
yeah.
we have time for more collaboration, so faculty and students who are watching. Oh, Lisa has a question. Let me come this way.
For the last question of what we can do here to support interdisciplinary work with students, could we get a perspective from the undergrad also?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with Virginia Tech, they have amazing resources. Maybe making it more known that these resources are available. Like, there's so much stuff in the library that we have access to, 3D printers, the prototyping studio. I don't really know how any of that works. I'm sure that there's a website and stuff. I'm so busy with other stuff. I don't know. It's just hard to get the mindset of going there and learning how to use it. So maybe just pushing students to use it more often. I also have this in CID, so that's also very handy. And yeah.
So related to that, do you think there's some similar things Virginia Tech could host, like an event like this? Would there be potential of that?
Yeah, even with the talents that we have in Virginia Tech, there are just so many projects being developed here that personally, I would love to know more about, like our own conference, internal conference, because we can see also in those type of events more areas of contact between each other. Yeah, like people are exciting. Everybody's doing such crazy creative work. So yeah, I think that in Virginia Tech, we would definitely love to have some more of that and just to engage, participate, I don't know, 2 days, like a very R2RU, like selecting teams around subjects and main themes instead of by labs, you know, just working with people from other labs, etc. Because there is for example, with Shore Thing, our game, there is a research here in Virginia Tech around shore shifting, very deep, very scientifical, not an artistic or ICAT type of approach necessarily, but there's a lot of engagement that can be done there. And I think that can happen with so many other things.
We are at time, so I want to take a minute to thank you all again for your sharing your experiences and your stories with us. These were just wonderful, so inspirational. So, round of applause. I want to thank you all for coming, and I hope that the rest of your Friday is amazing, as is your weekend. We'll be back here next week for our final play date of the semester, so with more coffee and donuts and a preview of some of our ICAT Day experiences. So we'll see you then. Have a great weekend.